Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we have an interview that we did with Ian Sinclair at Nan Desu Kan 2017. So enjoy it, and the footage behind it is unrelated. Welcome back. This is Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth from Area DMG and Radio DMG and DMGice.com with
Jim Arthurs from Gameslave.com.
And we're here interviewing at Nan Desu Kan 2017,
Ian Sinclair.
So, we'll let you drink your water. But yeah,
water.
Oh no. Okay, before we, just in case our studio audience may not be familiar with who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
Who are we really? Who are any of us? My name is Ian Sinclair. I am from Dallas. I am an actor, voice actor, director. I have worked in the anime industry for the last 14, 15 years. I do video games, and I'm a big fan of cooking. I don't know, I'm a gamer. I like magic. What else you want to know about me? I like water. I'm Pisces.
So, what characters are you in those things?
Let's see here. The biggest shows I'd say would be I am Whis in Dragon Ball Super. I am Brook in One Piece, and I was Space Dandy in Space Dandy. Yeah. And you said you're from a game group. I was Rashid in Street Fighter V. And
very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to find all the questions here. There we go. Looking through your VA credits, there is a tendency for you to voice the sort of mellow, the cool character. Is that something that is that something you enjoy doing, or is it just something you're kind of suited to, or?
I will say that my favorite type of character to play by far is someone who the stakes are way higher for everyone else involved in the situation than they are for my character. So kind of like Whis in Dragon Ball, everybody's freaking out, and Whis is like, oh, it's just a bunch of children slap fighting. Or you've got Space Dandy who just goes with the flow, or I like playing those things. You're able to have a lot of levity and have a lot of fun in the booth, because when you play really angry big guys, which I had a stint of last year, you're just angry. You walk into that booth and you rage out for an hour and a half, and you get it all out of you, and it feels good and all that. But it's a much different atmosphere when I go in and play like a Whis. I'm joking around. I'm having a good time. Brooke, same thing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your performance in Boy and Beast.
Thank you. Yes, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a fun character.
Yeah, I just glad to be in a host of the thing. I was just thrilled, and yeah, it's one of those movies that you're like, oh, do you want your friend to cry? Oh, yeah, show him Boy and the Beast. It'll be great.
Oh, any of those
right?
movies.
Just the waterworks.
So, what got you into voice acting? Why voice acting? Why acting?
Well, I was a theater major because I knew my favorite actors all started in the theater, so I wanted to have classical training. And then I happened to be in school with people that worked for Funimation, and I was brought in to just kind of observe one of my friends' work. And Chris Sabat turned around, who was directing that show, and he turned around and he said, "Hey, you want to say a line?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I walked in the booth. I said the word. I think it was a chauffeur. He just said, "Yes, sir." And they didn't talk to me again. That was it. And then 6 months later, that chauffeur said, "Yes, sir," again. So they tracked me down, gave me a contract, and that's literally the only reason I'm in Denver right now. I would be some theater kid in Dallas right now, but that one little moment, that one little chauffeur, Chris Abbott, turning around and going, I'll get free work off a kid on the street, gave me a career. So I love it. I'm a huge fan of comics and cartoons, and I was big Dragon Ball fan when I was a kid. So I feel very blessed to be even working in the industry. But yeah, like a lot of people in my business, I was an actor first, well trained, and then I found this fun little niche, and I like making funny voices. It gives me joy.
What advice do you give to the other fans who are thinking of trying to pursue a career
Okay.
in voice acting?
In voice acting in general, my suggestion is that you should be shooting for voice acting in general. You should not pigeonhole yourself into one form of art, because that's like getting a doctorate or something in architecture and then being like, nah, I just really just want to do like doorknobs. Like, that would be awesome, just doorknobs. That was it. Michael Tatum gets credit for the doorknob thing. He gave me that one. But it is entirely too specific, and it's not enough of a revenue stream to maintain a life and a family and all that. So diversification is deeply important. Commercials are what pay the bills a lot of the time. It's not sexy, it's not fun, but like going out and talking for a supermarket about Bing cherries that's what keeps your lights on. So make sure that you diversify yourself, and then beyond that, and this is my accountant father coming out of me, if you are going to be an actor or anybody in the creative field, save your money. It's just invest what you can. I'm not going to, in this moment, I'm not going to give too much financial advice, but I will say investment in your retirement and savings, super, super important, because it is an industry of feast and famine. And so when you do hit famine, if you've saved, then you'll make it through. And then you're not that dude who's asking everybody for work, because you don't want to be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. The guy's like, hey, you got a little work for me? You got a little work for me? And the only way that, and I have wanted to do that multiple times, but luckily, save your money, budget yourself, understand as an actor, it is feast and famine. Just because you're doing great one minute doesn't mean that that's your entire life. So plan for the long haul. This is a long haul job. Just getting one big part does not mean the rest of your career is anything. You need to be planning for your future. Yeah, that's the fun answer, huh? That's what everybody wants to scroll through.
Yeah, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Not mine either. Or the other one, you have to live like you're in a famine. So if you live like no one else, you get to live like no one else.
That's absolutely true. I have learned how to do ramen noodles, and I cook all the time just to make sure that my monthly output is as minimal as possible, because you as an actor will have $0 paychecks multiple times where you'll be like, oh, it's paycheck day. Nothing. But then you'll have some good months. So if you live like you never have it, then you're not gonna have to worry about it.
You got that 25 cents, and then FICA takes about 10 of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And your contract usually, unless you get into SAG, so that's a whole other barrel of monkeys.
Or can of worms.
Or can of worms. Can of worms. Yeah.
So, what do you think of Nan Desu Kan 2017 in Colorado so far?
I love it. I have been calling my girlfriend back home and saying, if I ever disappear, you'll find me in Denver. I'd probably be out in some log cabin out in the mountains chopping wood when they find me. They'll be like, Ian, we need you for more anime, and I'll have a giant beard and be like, no one's called me by that name in years, and so then I'll come back to do more dandy or something. I love it here. I mountains and from where I'm from, we don't have these things called hills and mountains. We just have flat. So it's been, the scenery is beautiful. The people are fantastic. Taste of Colorado is going on, so that's been a lot of fun. But the con itself, if anybody out there is debating going to NDK, go. The staff is a warm and loving family, and that not only comes through in how they treat their guests, it's how they treat their attendees. It's a wonderful show with wonderful atmosphere of acceptance and love, and it's great. It's great. And you guys have great craft beer, so there's that.
Yes, Denver has the best craft beer.
I'm not going to argue with that. No, I got it.
Some of the other voice actors have mentioned that they often don't get to actually socialize with each other when they're working.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had some time to actually spend just being people this weekend?
This weekend? Okay, I'm gonna be honest about my nerddom. Yesterday was the Splatfest for Splatoon 2. And I spent a lot of time playing Splatoon yesterday. I would go out and I'd go sit in like the 16th Street Mall and just play, see what Wi-Fi I can get off of like a Starbucks. It's been a lot of that. I actually, when I go to cons, if I can, what I like to do is, if we're in a city center, I just like to walk. I just like to go and walk the entirety of the city. If there's a group of people walking a direction, I go. You'd be surprised the weird, crazy stuff you find. And that's been great, but then I've also been able to hang out with Eric Kimmer and Kyle and Lauren and everybody, and that's been a lot of fun, and Dante. I haven't gotten too much time. I mean, we all got, to hang out in the hallway last night when the fire alarm went off. That was... Did you guys have that?
I went home.
Same.
Well, I heard it was like almost only our floor. Like,
oh no.
3 in the morning, just
Well, it's not a convention if that doesn't happen at least once.
Yeah, there's gotta be... Guys, just PSA
That would have
here.
broken them.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
If your buddies think, oh man, it might be really funny if we pull that fire alarm, stop them.
Yeah.
Be a hero. Be a hero. Don't live long enough to be the villain. What is the Batman thing. The Batman thing.
Yeah. It's like, don't pull the fire alarm for a joke. It's not a joke. And don't use spray paint or anything else in your room.
Oh, no.
Goodness.
I did one con, there was a guy who tagged all the walls, and his friends turned him in because he left a note in their hotel room saying like, hey guys, I'll be back at 5, and left the same tag as his signature. So his friends were like, and just went to the cops like, we don't know this guy. This is just, but we know who it is. Don't do it. It's not nice. People have to work. You don't want to be the guy who works at a hotel cleaning up somebody's tags. That's not nice. Be considerate.
And
Man, I'm getting old.
Oh, well, and speaking of work, and actually more about life, how do you find a balance between your work, constantly having to go to conventions and auditions and stuff, and life?
Well, I recognize that one of the benefits of my job is there is a lot of time. I might work, I might have all my auditions in the morning or whatever, and then I have my afternoon. My hours are odd because it's all contract and it's all when I get a phone call from my agent to go wherever. So I personally really work hard on when I do have time off to relax very hard. And then I try to hang out with my other voice actor friends that we never get to see each other. So I call up Josh Greeley and play Magic, or I play a lot of video games with my friends online. Yeah, I don't know. You try to do that because it's really easy to get wrapped up in I need to be doing this or I need to be doing that, or as an actor, shouldn't I be networking or whatever? Which I don't like to do all that. So my advice to other people and what I do is really take any of those moments that you can and just enjoy it. I've been in Denver for the last 3 days and I'm just enjoying it. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go to a bar and have a beer. It's going to be great. And so you have to make that time.
Do you have a favorite beer that you've had this weekend so far?
Favorite that I've had this weekend? I actually had a really good, weirdly enough, this is an apricot. It's an apricot beer, which I was like, I do not like fruity beers, but this is delicious and dry. I can't remember the brand, but last time I was here, I had entirely too much Oscar Blues. Like, oof, we were near the brewery, and man, what city is the brewery in?
Lions.
That's apparently where I went. Because we went through there. I went to Left Hand's here, yeah. I had a lot of that too. It's the only at those breweries have I had things so hoppy, and yet because it was fresh, I was like, oh, this is pleasant. I feel like hops, if you don't get it right out of the keg, it can be a little too abrasive, and some people just like to be like, I can put more hops in things than anyone has ever hopped before. No. Gentle hand. It's all about restraint.
Are there any other actors or voice actors who influenced you in your craft?
Oh, all of them. I steal from all of them. I steal mercilessly. I tell them I'm going to do it. I advise kids I teach to do it. You should be hearing everybody and stealing. And this is my reason. We have the opportunity to watch each other's works. I have the opportunity right now to get on the Funimation Now app and watch the greats of the last 20 years of anime and hear them in some of their best performances. I would be foolish not to take notes. I think it would be, foolish is the word I'm going to use because I'm betting under 18 people are listening to this. It would be darn foolish not to look at the greats and say, why is what you're doing so good? What do I love about it? And then going, oh, okay, because I remember like Monica Rial, the first time I directed her, she had a cue that was just running from one side of the field to another. So normal people just go, Monica goes, and adds a trip and all this stuff, and it added so much character and depth, and I go, we can do that? She's like, yeah. I do it all the time, and then you'll hear that now in Space Dandy. You'll hear Michael Tatum. I learned how to speak like I was larger than myself from him. I have ripped off Jason Douglas, Merciless. I have had entire fast food chain sponsorships based off of my impression of Jason Douglas. And it's because when it comes out of different people's vocal cords, it doesn't sound the same, and it isn't exactly the same. Don't try to mimic, but do homages and learn what you can. What's that old saying? Good people
create, great people steal.
Yeah. And it's just... And they should be stealing from me. I honestly am waiting, and if anybody listening comes and meets me at a con and can do a good Ian Sinclair impression, please do it. I can't wait to hear. No one will do it for me. I keep asking my friends and be like, oh yeah, Jerry was doing his impression of you. I was like, I want to hear what that sounds like, because I don't know what makes my voice quintessentially me. It's just the sound that pops out of my head. So I'm very curious about that, and I want people to be stealing from me, because if an actor isn't bothered by stealing, then they're not confident enough, because we should all be good enough that if I'm right for the role, they will hire me. If somebody's better than me because they've been stealing or whatever, then I need to up my game. So I don't even remember which question was, but do that.
So like bring that type of energy to it, your own unique energy to it. So speaking of energy, one thing I've noticed about these conventions like Nan Desu Kan and other conventions is that the attendees have this energy to them, this joy, this absolute exuberance. Yeah. And then one thing I've also noticed is that after the convention is over, when they're going back to like school or work and dealing with the humdrums of normal everyday life or bullying or depression, they just lose that energy. It just dies in them. Is there a way do you have any suggestions on how people may take that energy from the conventions, that wonderful boundless joy, and apply it to their everyday lives? Save that energy.
That is a fantastic question. Community. I think the reason that people get that way and feel that way is, in my personal opinion, because I remember going to cons as a kid, there is no place that you can be freer and more accepted by people who understand you. And unfortunately, God, wouldn't it be cool if everybody at school, we're all out of school by now, but wouldn't that have been cool if they all were into those things that we were into? Nerd culture wasn't even a thing back. It was a let's shove us into the locker kind of thing, but nerd culture wasn't what it is today. And there is a community, and I think that we get that feeling here because we see it, and there's a tactile sense to it. Make your friends here. Know that you're not weird. Even though if you go back to school feeling like you are the different one, just hold on to that feeling you had. Hold on to knowing that you are beautiful and normal and special, regardless of race, creed, color, sexuality, it doesn't matter. You are a beautiful thing, and there are others that are like you and love you, and just know that if you get through it and you find those people, make those friendships, and they'll be there for you. You be there for them because they're just like you, so they're gonna be going through the same stuff. So you be strong for them, they be strong for you. And when you get out of school, just never hang out with those people who think you're a nerd. Just go away from them. Those are stupid and they're wrong. You go party and go and put on your Pikachu onesie and you go have yourself a Rick and Morty party and you go live. You gotta get through this crappy time where a bunch of jocks are gonna tell you that playing Magic the Gathering is stupid. Get through it. When you get out, you're gonna be able to spend all your free time and money doing it, and you're gonna live a happy life. Just get through it, find your friends that are going through it too, be supportive for them, they'll be supportive for you, and yeah.
What was your first convention experience like then? When you were just an attendee?
Oh dude, that was back when there weren't specifically anime conventions, or I didn't know about it at the time, so it was like sci-fi and comic stuff.
Yes.
I was born in the 80s, so I remember dressing up as comic characters and still everybody thinking I was weird and having to like tell all my friends in like high school and college, like, come on dude, like no, like dress up, and they're like Superman? I was like, yeah, whatever you want to be. No one would do it, and it would just be me, and you know, I'd go around and get autographs. Back then, for me, ooh, this is bad. I'm deeply against bootlegs. But when I was a kid, there weren't legal ways to find a lot of shows that had been canceled. Like, how were you going to watch Freakazoid? Like, it was on, it was gone. There was no way that, like, so, but you go to a convention and there would be the Freakazoid set. Now, and I'm saying this to you kids now there are legal ways to find all of these things. You are blessed.
Yep. Crunchyroll, Funimation, Turner Classic Movies does all the old things like Pirates of Darkwater.
Yeah.
Amazon will make these to order for a lot of these. Piracy bad.
Piracy very bad. If you want these industries to keep going and to get bigger and to be more accepted, you gotta pitch in. You gotta buy the DVDs, and that's happening a lot. I'm seeing that a lot, and that's why we're seeing it become more and more towards mainstream, and it's wonderful to see. Yeah.
So, is there anything you're working on currently that you can tell us about or can promote? What would pimp something to us?
Dragon Ball Super is amazing. Watch Dragon Ball Super. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, watch that. If you need to watch that and you don't have years to catch up all of it, Kai is a good way to watch through it. But man, Dragon Ball Super is amazing, and I'm saying that as the little kid who sat there with his, Goku and his Gohan figures. Oh man, one of these days I gotta get Kyle to sign that. Super is amazing. And I'm not saying that as somebody who's in it. I am saying that as a fan. It picks up right where Dragon Ball Z left off. If you were a fan of Z, guess what? You got more. It's not like some weird pseudo series that kind of feels like it, or oh, my characters are doing something different. No. This is Toriyama. This is the next day. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Does that actually discount GT, or does it pass GT? Do we forget about GT?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot because I want to get into that one.
Here's what I will say. I'm gonna be, because now I'm part of it. I have to be all like political. See, like 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh, dude, because as a fan, I can have an answer, but as someone tied to the product, I can say I have heard people say that yes, this does completely wash away GT, because I mean, how can you have Red Monkey Goku if you've had Super Saiyan Blue? Like, why would he have even the transformations that they did wouldn't make sense, and there's continuity. And GT was, I'll say as a fan, GT was fun to watch because you get to see your friends again, you get to see Goku and Vegeta and all that, but it didn't feel to me like Toriyama. And I will say that Super is like it is dripping with Toriyama. It exudes Toriyama, and that for me as a fan gives me joy. When you see like the Trunks and Goten fight the dinosaur, the big snake at the beginning, it feels like Goku fighting the dinosaurs back in Dragon Ball, and yeah, I mean, no one needs to plug Dragon Ball Super, but my God, do I love that show.
Well, before we go, is there any place where we can find you online so that the people listening can stalk you? No. Yeah, like any social media where you can be like,
well,
yeah, promote your social media.
I need to social media more, but I am available at Ian Tweeting on Twitter. I'm working on tweeting more, and also I'm a part of the group of voice actors that are doing this Anime Unlocked streaming thing where you can, I'll stream during a panel or something like that, and then you can ask me questions, and I will be able to talk to you one-on-one personally. And so it's a lot of fun. But theiansinclair.com is being built, not by me, but is being built as we speak. So one day that will be a thing.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you.
And you can find us at, I'm Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, with AreaDMG.com, DMGice.com, and RadioDMG.com, with
Jim Arthurs from The Game Slave, thegameslave.com, and we're also on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr.
And we've been here at Nan Desu Kan 2017 with
Ian Sinclair.
And until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.